All right, so we're going to start off with our cycle 6, day 2, inequalities. Go ahead and grab a pencil, something to write with, and your cycle 6, day 2. If you don't have the booklet, then please grab a piece of paper and write down some of these important notes. So recall a symbol, if your symbol looks something like this, where the alligator mouth is opened to the left, that means greater than. Let's give an example. An example would be like 5 is greater than 2. Right. If the alligator mouth is open to the right, that means less than. So let's go ahead and give an example that 2 is less than 5. So the alligator mouth is open to whatever is bigger. If we have greater than or equal to, that means we can have something like this. Let's say x is greater than or equal to the number 8. So that would be any number for x, which could be 9, 10, 11, 12. It could also include 8 as well because it's equal to. It wouldn't be anything less than 8. So this x would equate to any numbers 8 and higher. That's what x is greater than or equal to 8 looks like. For if we had x is less than or equal to 5, that would mean it would be all the numbers that are 5 and lower. So it is equal to 5, but all the numbers that are lower, x could also be 4, 3, 2, 1. It could not be 6 because 6 would not be less than or equal to 5. For graphing inequalities, so we have a linear inequality is like a linear equation. So for instance, y equals 2x plus 1. We would graph the y-intercept and use the slope to find the next points. But for an inequality, we can also have, so something like less than, greater than, less than, equal to, or greater than and equal to would all be there instead of an equal sign. So instead of equal sign, we would have one of those signs. So some of the steps to graph inequalities is that first we have to graph the equal line. Let's pretend the line is equal. And then we shade in the area that the equation is satisfied with. So there are 3 steps. So first of all, we have to arrange the equation so that y is on the left and everything else is on the right. That means it should look like y equals mx plus b. So y is on the left, everything else is on the right. Next, we need to plot the y equals equation. And then we make a solid line if it has an equal sign, or a dashed line if there are no equal signs. So we'd have if it was something like this, we'd have a solid line. If it's something like this, we would have a dotted line for our line. If it says greater than, we're going to shade everything above the greater than line. If it says below then or something like this, it's everything shaded below the line. Okay, let's go ahead and try this question. All right, so we're trying this question. We're going to graph y equals less than or equal to 2x minus 1. So our first step is to graph y equals 2x minus 1. Let's go ahead and do that. So we have the y-intercept, which is b, is -1, and the slope is 2 over 1. So we're going to graph our base, our starting point at -1. And then we're going to use the slope, rise 2, run 1 to the right, rise 2, run 1 to the right, rise 2, 1 to the right, to draw our line. So next we have to see, are we drawing a dotted line or a full line? Since it's y is less than or equal to, that means it's going to be a solid line. All right, so this is going to be one solid line. And remember, this line goes on and on and on. This line goes on and on and on. Next then, we are seeing that it's less than. Less than means that we have to shade everything below the line. Okay, so looking at our line, where's below the line? Here's our line. Everything above the line would be up here. So that would be all shaded, but we're looking for everything underneath the line. So underneath the line is all this space. And that's it. That's everything below n equal to y equals 2x minus 1. All right, let's go ahead and try the next question. If you need to, please pause the video at any time so that students have some more time to write things down. And if they need further explanation, go ahead and pause and let them know. All right, let's go ahead and graph this problem. So this problem, we can see that we have, doesn't look like our most important formula in grade 9 math. Can you shout it out? What is it? Y equals mx plus, you got it, b. Right, doesn't really look like that. So let's go ahead and change it. So this looks like 2y minus x is greater than 6. We got to move something around. We're going to move this x over to the other side. X jumps over the equal sign and becomes a positive x. And then we got to divide everything by 2. 2's on the y. So divide this by 2, divide this by 2, divide this by 2. So y, those 2's reduce to give us 1. And y is going to be greater than 3 plus x divided by 2. Okay, we're going to graph this. This is where our y-intercept is, 3. So b is equal to 3. And what's the slope? What's the number in front of x? The number in front of x is 1. So this is a slope of 1/2. So starting at 3, 1, 2, 3, put a point. Next, we're going to go up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. Or we can go down 1 to the left 2. It's the same thing. And do that to cover your page so you have your nice straight line covering all the points. So that you can see that this line is right here. But before we put that line, is it a dotted line or is it a filled in line? What do you think it is? If it's something like this, so we have no equals, there's no equal sign here. This is actually going to be a dotted line. All right, so we have to do a nice dotted line. And here this means, what does this sign mean? Is it greater or less than? Well, we're reading it from left to right. This says greater than. This means greater than. So are we going to shade everything above or below? Here we're going to shade everything above the line, because that means greater than. Everything gets shaded right up here. So you don't want to go through your line. You want to keep everything above that line. And that's it. This means everything above. So where is y greater than 3x and 1/2? Or 3 plus 1/2 x? Where's y bigger than that? Y is bigger than that all here. Again, pause the video if you need to have some more time to write these questions down. All right, we have 2 more questions that we're going to check out. Determine if the point satisfies an inequality. So to see if a given coordinate or point satisfies the inequality, we have to test the point using left side, right side check. So determine if 2, 12 is a solution to this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to write this in the left side and this in the right side and see if it's true. So we have our middle sign will be our less than sign. And we're going to check and see if 5x minus 2y is less than 10 with these coordinates. Remembering that these coordinates are x, comma, y. Okay, so let's sub those numbers in. We're going to sub 2 in for x, 12 in for y. And we're going to see if this is true. Whatever we get here, is it less than 10? If it's true, then the point satisfies the equation. Okay, here we get 10 minus 24. And 10 minus 24, that's going to give us negative 14. And is negative 14 less than 10? It sure is. So the point 2, 12 satisfies the equation. that means the point 2, 12 is within this vicinity. If it's not true, then it wouldn't work. It wouldn't be true. But since this is a true statement, then it works. It satisfies the inequality. All right, let's try this one. So same setup. We're going to have the y on the left side, because that's on the left side of the equation. We're going to use the same symbol here, but the symbol here, right here, is greater than. And then on the right side, we're going to have all of this on the right side. So negative 3x plus 1. Where we see x, we're going to write negative 1. And where we see y, we're going to write negative 1. So negative 1 here for y is less than negative 3 times negative 1 plus 1. Let's go see if this is true. Is negative 1 bigger than negative 3 times negative 1? That's 4 plus 1. Is negative 1 bigger than 5? No, it's not true.
Can we do some nail painting today?
Just in a few minutes, honey. So it's not true. So that means the point is not satisfied. The point negative 1 comma negative 1 is not within this vicinity.
Mom, when you're done, can we do some nail painting?
Yep. So here we're going to say the point negative 1 comma negative 1 is not satisfied. Perfect. All right, you can go ahead and complete the homework. All right, let me know if you have any questions. You can send me a message over email or a message over Teams. Have a good day.